happy to have you again. And this is Amrita with you on TWF Talks. Today, we are having a wonderful person who has been in the field of sales for a really long time. He's an expert and been helping many organizations develop their sales. And today, we are happy to welcome Mr. S.V.Balaji. He's a sales coach and he has been providing consultancy to SMEs and companies to improve their sales productivity and efficiency. So, we would like to hear more about you, sir. Welcome to the program.
Okay, hi. Thank you, Amrita. Thank you for this opportunity and inviting me here.
Wonderful, wonderful, sir. So, we would like to know more about you and your progress till now, how you have traveled in this journey.
Okay. So, I've been, as you rightly said, I've been here for a long time. So, 30 years precisely since I started my career as a front end sales rep or executive after my graduation. So, 92, I finished my graduation. At the age of 20, I joined my career as a front end sales executive. I've spent quite a few times as a sales executive. Then I consistently grew. Uh, the first 10 years of my career, right from being a front end sales guy, I became a sales leader for a zone. I became a sales regional manager for North Zone. And then I quit that role. I joined the life insurance industry when it started, the private life insurance companies that came into country in 2001. And between 2001 to 2013, I was associated with life insurance industry. In my last role, I was the senior vice president for a multinational life insurance company. And then I chose to quit my career at a high point and to start my own. So I set up my own sales auditing and sales consulting coaching company. We call it as three key factors. So 2014 till now, I'm on my own and I work with multiple organizations, large, small, medium size individuals. And primarily my limited context of engagement is sales and business development. This is the area where I work with people closely. I handle them. I just don't tell them what to do. I also work with them on how it is being done and then ensure that the results, I take accountability for the results. That's how my engagement works with my clients.
Amazing, amazing. So I think you are actually a magic for many companies, and you have brought a lot of changes to them. So that's lovely. We would like to know more about it. So let's go into the interview. So
Sure.
as you have been a sales trainer, as you've been mentioning the sales training part, which you have been doing.
Mm.
So what do you think is that one skill that all kids need to learn from early ages in terms of sales and how they can upskill themselves from a very really young age?
It's a very pertinent question, particularly for this generation. So, how did we learn sales? We learned sales negotiating with the no's that we get from our parents. So the first learning was to negotiate a no with the parent. So we want to go out and play. Parents say no, study. So then you negotiate. You know, so that's the first lesson that we learned at our houses, and then negotiating with the team members when we go out and play. So should I go bat first or will somebody bat first? So every time you have a situation where you want to have your own way, then you'll have to negotiate through it. Sometimes you get rejected. That idea gets rejected. Mother does not allow, the friends don't accept. And then how you face that rejection? you
Beautiful.
know I think that's the building block of the sales aptitude, if I may call. That's the building block of sales aptitude. So the childhood experiences are very important.
Amazing, amazing. So we never thought of that experiences to even add on to us, but now I can go back a lot and remember all of those. So great, sir.
Yes.
Amazing. Nice. So
Yeah.
you actually mentioned your various jobs and the various jumps you have had, and you joined at a very young age of almost 20 years. So what was that, key learnings you had from each of the jobs?
you know uh, During the course of my career, I've spent working for about 20 years between three organizations. So
Okay.
for 20 years, I was only associated with three organizations. I think about 9 years in the first organization, about 6 years in the next organization, and 5 years in the next organization.
Right.
But if you ask me, the real learning for me happened much before I joined my career, during my graduation period. So during my graduation period, the summer vacations, I used to work for these market research organizations.
Okay.
So, now we have all of this market research happening online. But at that time, the market research was that I had to go locate the address given to me in the sample and then talk to the specified person. Sometimes it is called head of the family, sometimes it is called the housewife of the family, sometimes. So we have to identify the address, talk to them, and then ask them a set of questions. The first survey I did was called the National Readership Survey. So it's a 11 page, some 40-50 questionnaire survey. And every summer, about 2.5 months, I spent doing that. So my biggest lesson is in sales, some will, some will not, somewhere, someone is waiting.
Wow.
So
Can you
some will
repeat?
accept, some
Okay.
will not accept, but somewhere there is somebody waiting for you to come and talk to them, meet them. Maybe, they are waiting for somebody to come and sell it to them. They want it, but they don't know they want it. Yeah. So for me,
Right.
that's the single most important lesson.
Can you repeat that one line, sir? Somewhere, someone. That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it is some will,
Okay.
some will not,
Hmm.
but somewhere someone is waiting.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I think that's a beautiful line which can be engraved everywhere. It's really a universal truth. Very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice.
If you are
Yes.
in sales, I think that's the foundation of belief.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, we were talking about jumps in our career. You have just had three jumps in your career, if I'm not wrong. So, now people I see, just going out of sales, like people I see, they are actually jumping a lot. Like within a year, they jump to the next organization. So, what do you
Yes.
think about this whole process?
I think the reasons why people jump are different. But
Hmm.
if you ask me, in every role, particularly in the sales role, a sales cycle, we may call the ups and downs of market forces, the product life cycle. So typically a 4-year cycle.
Hmm.
So if I
Okay,
start selling a product, for me to completely experience what the product goes through, the product has its own life cycle stages, no? And the
right.
market has, stages through which the market goes. So for me to experience everything, it takes about 4 years.
Okay,
If I've spent 4 years, then I've completed one cycle. And if I'm successful at the end of 4 years, then naturally my company should recognize that and elevate me to the next level. So
right.
if I'm getting elevated in the next level, that means that I have understood what happens when the markets don't support, what happens when the product goes through its mature stage, and how do I still sell it. So
Okay.
I would say a proper experience is about 4 years in the role. And if you have done well, obviously your company will recognize and promote you to the next level. Obviously, it's a 4-year cycle again.
Yes, yes. Beautiful. Nice. I think that was very good key insight into sales and the whole growth as a person gets in terms of that experience. So nice.
Right.
Okay. So you were also a
One more
team.
in,
Yes,
one more
sure.
thing that I want to add here.
Yes.
During the course of my career, I had the opportunity to interview. I was also interviewing distributors, life insurance agents.
Hmm.
So I would have interviewed few thousand people.
Right.
And how do I identify who is the right person? People will say that you should always hire a guy who's hungry for success. You should hire a guy, who is very hungry to earn money.
Mm.
For me, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So if somebody may say they are hungry, somebody may say they are very motivated to earn money. For me, what have you done when you had the opportunity to earn? So if I'm meeting a 24-year-old guy who spent 23 years learning and educating and then comes to me at the age of 24 saying that, no, no, I'm hungry to earn something, I would still ask him that, boss, you had opportunity right from the age of 18 till 24. What exactly did you do to fulfill your hunger? Did you take tuitions? Did you do part-time job? So for me, the measure of a good salesperson is three qualities. I call it as progress, stability, and consistency.
Hmm.
So if I am hiring somebody, I would look for progress. Has he progressed in his role in the same organization? Has he been stable the average of 3.5, 4 years in a job? And has he been consistent in terms of the industry he chooses? So if a guy is with FMCG and goes to pharma and then comes to insurance and then comes back to IT, somewhere he's a rolling stone which has gathered no mass but a lot of years of experience.
Correct.
So for me, the stability, consistency, and progress are the three benchmarks of measure of success of a good guy.
Amazing, amazing. So that's a very nice way to put it. So, keeping that in mind, now going on to the next thing. So, there are many challenges you would have faced as a senior in the leadership roles that you have done as a team leader. I think you have been a team leader. So, many other roles which you have faced since the beginning. There would have been many challenges. What was the biggest challenge, and how did you face it? And what was the learning you got from it?
This is something I love talking about. I think not many people in the sales industries would have had this challenge that some of us had. Very
Okay,
peculiar challenge. Only we were fortunate to have that challenge because it hardened us, it made us better. The challenge was the first private life insurance company that we joined. Uh, 4 years into their life, they decided to sell.
okay,
So the company announced in the market that they will close down. And
okay.
I was managing a team of about 20 branch managers and about 150 sales guys and about 10,000 agents under me in a particular territory.
Mm-hmm.
And one fine day, we all see it in the newspaper that our company has decided to close down. Now, the issue is the company may close down at a later point of time. They've just announced their intention. They said, we want to close down the operations in India and we want to go back.
All right.
Now, it's the challenge which all of us had to face because the very next day, the customers whom we sold life insurance policies started asking us what will happen to our money and what is the assurance, what is the safety, what is the guarantee. So we were bombarded with complaints, shouting, and people coming and fighting, and all sorts of except vandalism. I can say I have faced
Mm.
every form of aggressive behavior.
Right.
And that particular phase of 6 months, where our existing organization said that they are not interested, and the regulator was trying to find an alternate buyer for us. So we were like orphan kids for those six
Mm.
months.
Mm. Right.
Beauty was even in that period when we were orphaned and we did not know which company is going to buy us, the team I worked with still managed to sell life insurance,
Wow.
still managed to. They said company will still be safe because the regulator ensures the money is safe, but there is no guarantee for safety of people's life. Anything can happen.
True. True.
So the money, in case something happens to you, will still come. It
Mm.
may not come from the X company, it may come from the Y company. But for that reason, the danger to you will not stop until my company finds an alternate buyer. So that was the story that salespeople, working with my team,
Mm-hmm.
managed to take it forward. And when the new company brought us, they were really surprised that how did when rest of the organization's branches were not doing any business, how did the team I was managing manage to do this? They asked us. It's a great case study, something we feel very proud when I look back now. But those 6 months, I think, was was dreadful. Was
Yes.
dreadful.
Yes. Yes.
Biggest
So
challenge.
yes. So I mean, how do you face people who are aggressive or irritating you, and how do we get over such people?
You know, possibly there is no science or a framework or a methodology that I have learned, but I have acquired so much exposure of facing these people over a period of my lifetime. As I said, I started quite early in my life. At
Yes.
the age of 18, I started facing rejections. So I'm not
Yes.
talking about rejections at home or rejections with friends. I'm talking about rejections on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, the biggest lesson about rejection was when I was dull one day, I was supposed to complete 11 interviews and I managed to get only one interview. So I was feeling very low. And I still remember my late mother told me that, it's not about you, it's about them. So when somebody is being aggressive, when somebody is being unreasonable, somebody is being, whatever they are,
Mm.
and they try to project it on us, they try to show it on us, it's not about us. It's about them. That sense of empathy ensures that we become detached to the impact that they want to create in us. Okay,
Beautiful.
so you should as much as you want because it's about you, and that's not going to really affect me. I'm still
Nice.
going to stand on the ground, face you, looking into your eyes. I'm not going to get agitated. But once you are done and you are on a level playing field with me, I will tell you what it needs to be told.
Nice. Nice. So it's
Yeah,
all about
it's about
perspective and handling in a grounded state.
yeah, it's about them, and you have to carry that empathy.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Superb. So I think we got a lot of answer in this one question. So nice. So going on to the next question. Can you give us three tips that every solo entrepreneur or self-employed people need to know about sales?
Okay. So, there is this model which I very strongly advocate.
Hmm.
This is called there is an LLP model which talks about your all solo entrepreneurs who have entered into this profession of solo entrepreneurship are specialists, functional specialists,
Right.
technical specialists. They are good at some particular vocation,
Mm.
technology or
Mm.
content or whatever they are. They are not salespeople. They are not trained. They are not ingrained. So
Yes.
the foundation of a solo entrepreneur or any entrepreneur starts from the identity which we want to project outside. What is
Okay.
the identity that I want to project? So I should be very clear. Now, for example, you are a solo entrepreneur. You are
Right.
in a particular field.
Yes.
So the most important thing for you to be clear is what is the idea? What do I want to be known for?
Mm.
What do
True.
people recognize me for?
Right.
So I may be here ultimately wanting to make a career, make a money out of this, but the beginning is the starting point is the identity that I want to establish. Once that identity is clear, then the second thing is who are the audience with whom I want to relate to.
Hmm.
Everybody is a customer, then nobody is a customer. If you think everybody is a customer, then nobody is your customer. So then become clear with for that identity, which is the segment that you want to really associate with.
Okay.
For example, if I want to be known as a successful guy because I'm going to drive a Benz car, then I must also choose a residential area which values my Benz car. I can't be in an area which does not provide the road first, and secondly, people there really don't look at my Benz car without. So I have to choose where I live for that car to be valued, for that
Okay.
lifestyle to be valued. So identity followed by the ground where I want to play.
Hmm.
And the
Okay.
third important is the rules of the ground. Every game has certain rules. There are rules. For example, uh, does the people with whom you want to relate to, do they like being cold called or emailed, or do they like being advertised to so that they can call you? So is it an outbound sales approach? Is it an inbound sales approach? Once
Wonderful.
these three things are clear, then the rest are all skills can be acquired. But
One.
once this is clarity part, the other is the action part. Action part is trainable. Action part is something that you can acquire as a skill. But the first three is what I coach people in.
Hmm.
Many people they are not clear about the identity. They are not clear because they are still articulating. They are still contemplating. So a coach will help them to really put it into the right set of words. And once that clarity comes, the aha moment arrives in their mind, then I think a lot of things become clear to them.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So in continuation, we would like to know more about your programs. What all you're giving as a sales coach? You can just highlight that, sir.
Yeah, currently I don't have programs for public.
Okay. Okay.
We currently don't have a program for public because this is an intensive one-to-one engagement or a one-to-many engagement of a similar group. So I work with organizations. I work with
Okay.
the owners of the organization. Or yeah, for example, I am now coaching a set of individual CFOs,
Okay.
people who have quit their jobs
Mm-hmm.
and they have come out to start their own business as a CFO partner or they do CFO services.
Mm-hmm.
So I coach a set of HR practitioners, people who were
Right.
HR
Mm-hmm.
heads of an organization. They have come out and set up an HR business.
Wonderful.
So I work with them closely. So it's not a program that I can train them and then say, TK, now you go ahead and do it yourself. No, it doesn't work for them. So because they are not from sales, they don't know whether
Correct.
what they are doing is right or wrong. So they want help all through.
Wonderful. Okay.
That's how I work very closely with people.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, you were talking about SMEs and consulting for SMEs. So, how is sales with respect to SMEs different, sir?
Okay, so when I say SME, I'm having in mind the organization which has, every organization has these stages, no,
Okay.
startup stage, early
Mhm.
success, then growth acceleration.
Right.
So somebody starts up at, let's say, about a crore of rupees, 5 crore of rupees turnover, then he manages to take it to a level of 15, 20, 30, 50, 100 crores, and then
Hmm.
at some point of time he hits saturation, because the skill sets that he had to grow the business to the level of growth accelerator
Hmm.
no longer become valid in the next stage.
Right.
So they hit a plateau.
Correct.
So they keep trying to do the same thing that they have done, which has helped them grow from 1 to 100.
Hmm.
Uh, that's where I come into picture, help them shift the gears and change the lane itself.
Okay.
Okay, as an outsider, I can, as long as you are part of the problem, you really can't understand, what the problem is. So there is no visibility of solution for you.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
so there is this statement which says all paradigm shifts are brought by outsiders. So
Hmm.
Jim Rohn said that. So all paradigm shifts are brought by outsiders. So I am that outsider who brings paradigm shift into the way the organization is running their sales function.
Okay.
So some organizations are too uh, people centric. So they want superstar salesmen who will discover the solutions on their own. I'm a little old, style. I'm more a process centric guy. So I
Okay.
said first the process and find the people who fit the process.
Wonderful.
Mm. I set the process, then I define the competencies, then I hire the people who fit.
Nice.
We reduce the risk of dependencies considerably low. That's how it works with me.
That's very important. That's perfect, I think. Beautiful. So we
Um,
got a very good idea about sales and the SME part. So your final tips to the people who are out there, be it salespeople or people who are not into sales directly, but what are your tips to them to keep them going in the business and growth?
I'll tell you, whatever role you are, I think you are a salesperson first. You are a
Wonderful.
CEO, you are a manager of people, you are a wife, you are a husband. Anybody you are a sales guy, because sales is not about selling a product or a service. It's about getting the other person to accept your idea.
Okay.
Shiv Khera says sales is transfer of enthusiasm from one person to another person. So I'm enthusiastic about that idea. For example, you are enthusiastic about this idea of this TWF talks. So you are a salesperson from that point of view. So you have to sell the idea why people should come and do these talks with you,
Hmm.
and
Yes.
how it will help your audience, how it will also help the people who are doing this. It will help me in some form. It will also help you in some form. So how do you
Yes.
ensure that
Yes.
your idea is accepted to me? And in sales, people have a particular buying hierarchy, we call it.
Hmm.
The hierarchy starts like this: people buy you first,
Okay.
people buy your ideas next,
Hmm.
and people buy your product as a natural consequence.
Okay.
So it doesn't start with the product, it starts with you as a person, how you come across, how you have responded to them in the initial stages, how you put across your reason to meet people,
Hmm.
followed by your idea why people should explore a particular product or a service. So people buy you first, people buy your ideas next, followed by the product, whatever you offer. So as
Beautiful.
long as this clarity exists in any solopreneur or any small business owner, I think he will go a long way on refining himself, educating himself, investing in his own self, rather than trying to sell the product, which will only require more advertisement, more discount.
True.
The
True.
ideal way to invest your money is less advertisement, less discount, and more competency within you. So you invest money in building you because people buy you first. You
Yes.
invest money in developing your ability to articulate your ideas because people buy your ideas next. Then
True.
you don't have to really, invest a lot of money in discounts and credits and whatnot.
Beautiful, beautiful. So the value is already shown to them through you. So that's the way they actually buy the product. So wonderful. I think that's a very nice way to end this beautiful interview. This has been really knowledgeable. I could actually gather so much, and I think the audience will love it so much. So thank you so much, Balaji sir, and it was lovely discussing with you. Wishing you all success in the future, and looking forward to see you garner greater heights.
Thank you so much, Amrita, and I also wish you a lot of success in the days to come.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.